Hey, it's your girl, Carenda and welcome to the Get It Girl series, part two. Oh my goodness. If you missed part one, you have to go back and you have to listen to that on YouTube, on my YouTube channel at Carenda. We talked about purpose over pressure and how to say no without guilt. Today, we're going to talk about finding meaning between the meetings. Whew, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Purpose in real life. That's what we're going to talk about for our Get It Girls series part two. So I hope that you are ready. Again, I am your girl, Carenda Dion, with She Talks Purpose. And one of the things that I love about my purpose and what I have been called to do is really providing encouragement, providing resources, tools like the Get It Girl series to help you be more intentional about your life and your well being. It is so very important. And today we are going to again dive into part two. There will be four series. I'm going to do one for each quarter. So there will be four series for 2026, and you don't want to miss any of them. So get ready, get your pen and your paper, your journal, or if you're going to take notes through your tablet, whatever that may look like, but we have got to dive into our topic today. Listen, I don't know about you, but real talk, last week, oh my goodness, meetings, meetings, back to back meetings. Last week for me was mentally exhausting. I mean, it took a lot of mental thought, stimulation, processing, problem solving, fact finding, whatever however I can describe it. Last week consisted of that, right? And then on top of meetings with work, I had doctor's appointments, I had follow ups to make sure my parents were feeling better and going to their appointments and doing things that needed to be done. So last week was very taxing. And so this series comes at a perfect time for us. This is not just for you, it's for me too, right? So we are going to really unpack in this Get It Girl series part two, finding meaning between the meetings. So right now, you might be listening to this on your way to work. You might be listening to this as you wind down after you've done some meal prep for the week. You might be listening to this in an Uber or Lyft ride to the airport. You might be listening to this if you're taking a walk or at the gym, whatever that looks like. We are busy women, but we are going to find meaning. Say that with me. I am going to find meaning between the meetings. Yes, I am going to find meaning between the meetings. Let's dive into purpose in real life. You all see this? I'm going to grab me just a sip of water. But do you all see this? Dream job, perfect standard, massive expectations. I should really align this series with my book, Perfect Patty Messed Up. My goodness. I'm going to tell you this. One of the things that you're going to find within the She Talks Purpose platform, one of the things that you're going to find within this Get It Girl series is grace. You're going to find gratitude, and you're going to find balance, right? And so I'm excited about that. But look, do you see the lady at the bottom right here at the screen under massive expectations? And so many times we can relate to that, right? The relentless pursuit of a glamorous calling. And I'm saying to you today that it is a recipe for deep exhaustion. This this relentless pursuit, and in most cases, at times we are putting unnecessary pressure on ourselves, or we're not um, being realistic in what our capacity is for whatever reason, or we feel like there has to be this big reveal to feel purpose or to feel validated or to have this standard or dream job or title. And it is a relentless pursuit of a glamorous calling that is a recipe for deep exhaustion. When you put so much effort and thought and toil into the dream job, into perfect standards, into massive expectations, it will overwhelm you. You can see, right? Here she is at the bottom of the screen, and she is completely overwhelmed. And culturally, at times, we are pressured. We're pressured to find this singular, monumental dream job or stage. You know, like you're looking for this big moment. And what I am suggesting is that right where you are, right in what you have, right in what you do, just in the capacity of where you are right now, you can find, you can exemplify, you can implement, you can give forth so much impact, so much value that it's indeed priceless. That really, when you think about it, no title could match. No title could match. You have the ability right where you are to make an impact within the purpose in which you walk in right now, today, in this moment, for your life and the lives of others. And so we are going to really look at this today. I'm so excited. If you hear me pausing some, it's because, this particular topic that we're talking about today speaks volumes to me, and I am very mindful of words. So there are times when I am thinking of words that truly align with what I would want and hope to resonate within you. And so I want to go back because it was, I was talking earlier about what you will learn with She Talks Purpose and in these Get It Girl series, which is truly a free resource. And it is grace, growth, and gratitude. Yes, balance as we look at this, as we look at this slide here, because truly this is not balanced, but growth, grace, and gratitude. That is what you will indeed find that will be a recipe for balance for your life. And when you have balance in your life, you truly can be intentional about your decisions. You can indeed make your yes count. So, in order to do that, we must shift our focus from securing a title to finding our rhythm. What is your rhythm? What is a song or a genre of music that truly moves you? Now, I like all types of music. I really do. But I tell you what, go-go music, I absolutely love. If you want to get me out of my chair and onto the dance floor, put on some go-go music. Put on some Sugar Bear. Put on some EU featuring Sugar Bear. Put on some go-go music. I am telling you, it is my rhythm. I mean, I am in my flow. I am in my space. I am fully present in my energy. And again, I like several genres of music, but go-go music is really where I find my rhythm. Where do you find your rhythm? What does that look like? Because what I want us to do, because the women that I'm speaking to, we are professional women, right? And we're smart. Please don't get it twisted. We are smart women. We're not just book smart, but we're smart even when it comes to the things of life. A lot of people lean on us, depend on us, they value our input. A lot of times we're called into circles and to sit at tables, even with people in high places. Yes, because God has favored us, but He has also given us a rhythm in which we bring to the table, right? Um, our mindset, our maturity, our expertise, our natural ability to just get things done, to make impact, to bring value, right? And so I want us as even professional women, and of course, we are women of, I am speaking also to women of faith because I am a Christian believer. And so a lot of what I will talk about will also balance that as well. But we have to shift our focus from securing a title to finding our rhythm. It's so important because when we focus on title alone, then we get caught up in unrealistic expectations. It leads to burnout and it requires perfection. And you know, that's not possible because we all will make mistakes. Even the best of us, the best of us will make mistakes. When we look at title or this big reveal as or the purpose as a title or a stage, where we will become unbalanced and we will start having exhaustion. We will start experiencing stress. We all experience a level of stress, right? But stress that is starting to be visible in our health, that is starting to cause disruption, right? In our normal way of living and doing things. We got to be very careful that even as business women, we don't get caught up on the title. But we, regardless of the title, we understand that purpose requires consistency, that purpose requires momentum, and that true purpose builds daily meaning. No matter what your title is, when you are operating in your rhythm, when you are operating in your purpose, it's not heavy. It's not a burden, right? As it says here, purpose is not a heavy destination you finally arrive at. It's ongoing. It's ongoing rhythm that you build through ordinary daily momentum. Ordinary daily momentum. That's purpose. That's purpose. And some days it may consist of a stage. Some days it may consist of promotion that leads to a title change. But if it does or does not, those are events and instances and things that happen in our lives, but they are not the meaning and the core of who we are. The core of who we are is that with or without a title, with or without a stage, I am in my rhythm every single day. I am showing up by consistently creating momentum and daily meaning in my life and in the life of the people that I work with and that I love. That's it. That's it. So let's look at this a little bit more. You know, I personally have not, I do not have children. You all know that. Some of you know that. I am an auntie. But one thing I know is that, and I know this by talking to others in my family who have had children, that a mother feels movement. She feels life before she knows the sex of the baby, right? And I know we have big reveals now. My best friend, she had a reveal, to see if it's a boy or a girl. Many people do that now, and that's great. But even after knowing, even after the big reveal, even after you find out if it's a boy or a girl, it does not take away that in you, within you, you feel movement. You have heard the heartbeat of this child. Purpose is already there even before you know if it's a boy or a girl, right? Something is living and moving and growing even before the big reveal. And it doesn't have to be a big reveal to know that purpose is there. And that's what I want you to understand is that we don't have to wait until there's this big reveal to feel like, oh, I finally have purpose because of an event, because of a title, because of this. No, every day that God gives me breath to breathe, every day that God allows me to extend love and forgiveness and grace towards myself and to others, every day that I am able to use my gifts and my talents to be a blessing to someone, every day that I am able to allow my voice to make an impact or allow my contributions towards a project or towards something I am doing in the community or within my church or whatever that looks like, that is purpose. There is growth there. There is grace there. There is gratitude there. So we got to let go of these myths, right? Okay, because listen, it's not glamorous, it's not instant, and it's not only driven by passion. No, purpose is anchored in values. You're thinking about as you're carrying this child, what can I do today to make sure I'm healthy as well as possible, or that I'm making good decisions because I am carrying purpose. I am exuding purpose. I am breathing purpose. I want to take care of myself. I want to make sure I'm intentional with what I say yes to. I want to make sure that I am in alignment with where I need to be. I want to make sure that this is not about ego. I want to make sure that this has nothing to do with pride. I want to make sure that this has nothing to do with title or a stage. But this has everything to do with me being anchored in values, me understanding that my contribution and impact is measurable, and me aligning with obedience and stewardship. Oh my goodness, that's purpose. Meaning between the meetings. Look at this. Oh, true calling doesn't happen on a stage. It lives in the moments we usually rush past. True calling. We're so pressured and there's so much in front of us between social media, between the news, between things that we hear, things that we see, like, oh my goodness. But true calling lives in the moments at sometimes we usually rush past. And at the end of the day, you don't need to abandon your current life to find meaning. You really don't. Because because there is meaning between the meetings. Purpose hides in the ordinary architecture of your daily routine. While and it's waiting to be activated while you're warming up the car, while you're in line waiting to pick your child up from school, while you're in line in Starbucks, while you are in traffic trying to get home, while you have maybe 15, 20 minutes before your next meeting, while you're waiting for your oil to be changed and be serviced at the car place or whatever, right? All of these moments that sometimes we rush past or we just see as, oh gosh, here, got to do this, oh goodness, got to do that. Purpose is there and it's waiting to be activated. It's like, here's the key. Here is the key. Use it. Use it. There are times where purpose looks like daily conversations. There are times when purpose looks like moments of service. May not be viral on social media. It may not, you may not get a award. No one may be calling your name out on the radio. But my goodness, moments of service, things that speak to you, things that align with who you are, to give back, to help others, stewardship of current resources, taking care of what you have and taking care of it well. Listen, I am so grateful for my home because my home is a testimony. And I'm not going to get into all of that right now, but just trust me when I tell you it's been a journey. It's been a journey. And I remember when the home was being built, myself, my mother, my sis, Tiffany, my realtor, and her husband, we came in here and we wrote scriptures and words of affirmation all within the walls of this home. I remember where I put Psalms 91. I remember where I signed my name. I remembered where I put that I was a virtuous woman and that my sleep would be sweet. I remember those things. And I value my home. No, I'm not in a mansion, but you couldn't tell me I wasn't. I value my home. I wake up and I thank God every day for my home. I'm sure that I'm very intentional of taking good care of what God has given me. I want to make sure my home embodies peace. I want to make sure my home has an atmosphere of love. And I cultivate that in my house. I cultivate that. And I'm saying that to say no matter if you're in a home or apartment, a condo, wherever you are, what I'm saying to you is those being having stewardship of your current resources, taking good care of what you do have. That is purpose in itself. Listen, you may work at home, right? If you do, take some breaks, get up from your desk, walk throughout your home, bless your home, pray in your home or your apartment, put oil on your doorpost, speak blessings over your home. If you are going into the office, use that time to speak life over your body, life over your bloodline, life over your spouse if you're married, life over your future husband if you desire to be married, whatever that looks like, over your children, your grandchildren. Listen, purpose hides in the ordinary architecture of our daily routines, and it's just waiting. You all hear me snapping my finger, waiting to be activated. So, this is good here. I want you all to see this because this is real life. This is real talk. All right. This is real talk. Meaning is manufactured in the margins between your obligations. So, what is the goal? The goal is not to clear your calendar because that's not even realistic, right? I mean, real talk. That's not even realistic. We couldn't clear our calendar if we wanted to, right? I mean, we just that is just what it is. But the goal is to identify the micro spaces between the meetings right? The things that I talked about before, the school drop-offs, the waiting in line in Starbucks, waiting for your oil to be changed, um, those micro spaces, those moments, those buffer moments that you have in between your meetings to find meaning, to find meaning. So here we have, okay, 10 a.m. I have to give a status update. But from but I don't have another meeting or I don't have to run an errand until 11:30. So let's say my status update goes from 10 to 11, right? So from 11 to 11:30 or from 10:30 until 11:30, I have this margin. I have this micro space between the meetings that I am going to be intentional to find meaning. I hope you all are getting this. So let's look at this. Again, micro habits, those are those tiny repeatable actions that they require almost zero prep time, but they align well with your daily routine and they align with your values. So we extract meaning from the margins using structured micro habits. So here's an example. You're waiting in the drive-through, right? Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, you're waiting in line, right? While you're waiting, action, action. Oh, I can send something encouraging to my sister. I can send something encouraging to a coworker. Oh, I can reflect and just meditate on one of my favorite scriptures, Ephesians 2:10. I am God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand for me to walk in, right? That's one of my favorite ones. Maybe I can just take that moment to reflect on that. Or maybe I can pull up my playlist and just start listening to one of my favorite songs. Or maybe I can use an app on my phone, and while I'm waiting in line, I'm just going to record and just speak on the things I'm grateful for. Oh my gosh, meaning in those micro habits. I'm waiting in line. Let me make sure I send a yes reply that I can help serve the homeless. I can help prepare care. I can help prepare baskets for caregivers. Whatever it is, you are using micro habits. Okay. Again, meaning within the meetings, micro habits that consistently align with your daily routine and they align with your value. You're extracting meaning from the margins that you have between the meetings by using micro habits. Did you all get that? You are extracting meaning from the margins you have in our busyness of life using structured micro habits. And what is that going to create? Step three, it's going to create impact. It's going to bless someone. It's going to uh, revitalize you, refuel you. It's going to help bring connection and help you to be accountable for things that matter most. Oh my goodness. I hope you're getting, I hope you're getting this. This is so good, y'all. This is so good. So let's look at these core habits. Four core habits that can completely change the texture of your day. And here's what I love that these habits do not require a blocked out hour. No, 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 no. So you don't have to worry about that. Just, you know what I'm saying? You don't need you don't even have to think that far. Like, oh my gosh, now I gotta block out something. Nope, nope. Again, margins, margins. They are designed to be deployed in minutes, seconds, utilizing the fragmented time you already have. Oh my gosh. So, what are the four habits? The four core habits: encouragement. That's an outward focus, right? You are going to uplift others in passing moments. It could be a simple, something simple, something encouraging, something maybe you thought of, or something you just want to say, or a note you want to give, or a quick text, whatever that looks like. Encouragement, outward focus. Gratitude, that's an inward focus, right? Naming things that specifically anchor you and that you're grateful for. Thinking of your blessings. Have you really taken the time to count your blessings? Mm, 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 mm. Oh gosh, I just had to take a moment there. I mean, mm, when I think about when I think about the blessings that God has bestowed, when I think about the blessings of my family, the blessings of my church, of my community, of my life, of my relationships. I'm just like, Lord, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I remember there was a time where I would be very intentional and I would say, well, I'm going to write 10 things that I'm grateful for. And you know what, ladies, before I knew it, I was writing a full page. I mean, front to back. So many things. That's an inward focus. Whoa, did y'all feel that? I felt that. I felt that. Oh, I felt that. That's an inward focus. Taking time to even write that down, taking time to put it in your tablet, taking time to put it in your phone, or using an app that you can record and just speak into the phone. Preparation is forward focus, setting up your environment to serve your future self, right? And so, again, that could look like within your community, within your church, within an organization, but forward focus. How can I serve? How can I continue to be a good steward over my life, over what God has given me, over my resources, over the things that I am connected to, and over the connections that God has allowed me to make? And then reflection is backward focus, pausing to acknowledge daily lessons and presence. Daily lessons, reflection, taking time just to reflect. How have you grown in these last 30 days? What's a lesson that you've learned? What is words of wisdom that you have received? What is something that God spoke to you, maybe early morning or late at night? Um, Backward focus, just reflection in itself. So these are four core habits that they don't require you to add anything else to your calendar. They are designed to be deployed in minutes and seconds within the margins, within the fragmented time that you already have. So let's look at this quickly. I hope you are just feeling the shift, right? My pastor was talking today a lot about shift because we're getting ready to go into a 21 day of fasting and praying. But he was talking about shift. He kept using that word. I hope you can feel the shift in our series this today. But when plotted on a real schedule, again, purpose becomes a rhythm. Purpose becomes a rhythm. It's not a burden, right? So if you are like I'm if you're focusing on purpose and it's heavy and weighted and it's a burden, you need to reassess, because true purpose becomes a rhythm, right? So look at this example here. 8 a.m. All right, commute. God bless the commute. Oh my goodness, right? And then we've got Zoom calls. We've got lunch. We got to eat. We got to eat, right? Errands, and then dinner prep, right? But within those margins, look at this segmented and the fragmented time that we have. Look at these margins, right? 5 minutes, I can send a text of encouragement. In 2 minutes, I can prepare for the next meeting. And I've got 4 minutes to just gratitude name, just put it out there. Thank you, Lord, for my family. Thank you for peace of mind. Thank you for restoring me. Thank you for healing my body. Thank you for answering the prayers of my loved one, whatever that is. Gratitude. Thank you that I have, thank you that I have activity of my limbs. Thank you, Father, that I'm complaining and murmuring less and less, and the spirit of gratitude is overflowing in my life. Thank you for joy. Thank you for peace. Thank you for not leaving me. Thank you for loving me even when I fail. Oh my goodness. Don't get me started. I will go on and on when it comes to gratitude, right? And then maybe I've got 3 minutes to reflect on my drive home. Reflect on the impact that I made today. Reflect on the conversation that really moved me. Reflect on something that I heard that spoke to me. Reflect on a scripture or an encouraging word that speaks volumes to me, right? But we're not adding anything. We are just maximizing our margins by using micro habits that really take zero effort, so to speak, right? That comes naturally to really find meaning between the meetings and understand that even with my title, without a title, even with the stage or no stage, whatever it looks like, I am living in and on purpose every day of my life. And if purpose comes with shifts and promotions, thank God for that. If it comes with you being your gifts making room for you, and you being in the presence of great men and women, wonderful. But when it's all said and done, it's the everyday, it's the daily routine. It's the as you wake up, as God gives you grace, as you go throughout your day, as you prepare for evening rest. It's finding those margins and utilizing those micro habits and utilizing those four core areas that we talked about and letting that create impact, letting that be intentional, and letting that create connection and stewardship. Because that is everyday purpose. That is by far everyday purpose. So, what do I want you to take away with today? It's time for you to design your own daily meaning map. So, I want you to identify 3 fixed anchor points in your day. What are 3 fixed obligations? I can't answer that for you, but you can fill that in. And this is just the start. What are 3 fixed obligations or anchor points that are a part of your day? And what I want you to do is find the 5 minute margin, the 5 minute margins immediately following them, and choose a micro habit. Choose encouragement, choose gratitude, choose preparation or reflection, and insert that in the space below. And insert it so that you can actively implement starting tomorrow, starting this week. So, take a screenshot of this, do what you need to do. But what I want you to do is identify 3 fixed anchor points in your day. And here, as you see right here, 5 minutes, that's it. 5 minute margins immediately following these anchor points, your fixed obligations. 5 minutes, I want you to choose one of those micro habits that we talked about. Encouragement, outward, gratitude, inward, reflection, backward, preparation, forward. Choose one of those micro habits and put that there and start implementing it throughout your day. Oh, listen, if I could sum up our Get It Girl series part 2, I will say exactly what you see here on the screen. Purpose is simply the consistent alignment of ordinary routines with a bigger calling. Did you get that? I just wanted that to resonate for a minute. It is simple, consistent alignment of ordinary routines with a bigger calling. You don't need a new life to live with purpose. You don't have you don't need titles or stages. If those come with a part of what you do and who you are, thank God and ask Him for the grace that you need to sustain you every step of the way. But what you really need is the willingness. Oh my goodness. What you need is the willingness to weave meaning into the beautiful, messy grid of the life we already have. And I know that's not a real pretty word, but sometimes it is. It's messy. It's a lot going on, but weave meaning. Because even in all of that, there is beauty, there is purpose, there is life, there is growth, there is grace, and there is gratitude. Oh, Get It Girl series part two. Finding meaning between the meetings. Repeat that with me again. I will. And this time, you should be saying it with much more confidence in yourself. Repeat it with me. I will find meaning between the meetings. I will find meaning between the meetings. This has been your girl, Carenda. Thank you so much. Be sure to follow me on all social media platforms at Carenda. Visit my website at shetalkspurpose.com. And if your schedule permits, I would love to see you September 25th and 26th at the Make Your Yes Count Women's Conference at my church, Excel Church in Gastonia, North Carolina. I am so excited to open up the conference Friday night on the 25th. And on the 26th, we are going to have some awesome women of God and speakers to give workshops and teaching on make your yes count when it comes to your purpose, when it comes to your career, and when it comes to your healing. I cannot wait for this conference. So you can find more information and how to register for this conference on my website at shetalkspurpose.com. Be sure to just stay tuned for the Get It Girl series part 3. I cannot wait. I will reveal to you that topic very, very soon. It is going to be absolutely wonderful. We're going to actually talk about the SMILE method and how to stress easy. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you all. So stay tuned for that. I hope that this series has been a blessing. Be sure again to follow me on all social media platforms at carendadeonne. Until the next time, make your yes count. Take care.